us. Patrick Mahomes had a big profile on him by Seth Wickersham at ESPN. It's a great read if you can find it. But he also revealed some startling information about himself. That information being
startling,
as we see here. He spent
Alarming.
most of his life putting ketchup on everything. He would get bottles of it for his birthday, but now that everyone is watching every move he makes, he's been sheepish about ordering ketchup. ... second screen. At a restaurant recently, his mom, Randy, recognized an unfilled desire as he dove into a steak. She said, just ask for it. And Randy said, I know you want it, but he wouldn't. So she asked for the ketchup and she slipped it to him, which led to a heated debate. This is Laurel and Yanni times 7.
Yeah.
Ketchup on a steak, okay? Or a major faux pas? What did social media have to say about the debate? What do we got there on the Twitter?
Ketchup is for fried potatoes and burgers only.
Okay. You've been scolded.
You've been scolded.
Fried potatoes are
What else we got?
Yeah. Ketchup on steak is completely disrespectful.
Oh,
and they added him.
Shout out to Jesse.
Added him, too.
She watches the show.
What else we got? What else you got? Social medias.
Okay, well, that's not.
Oh, wait a minute.
I'm into it.
What?
If it's your, hey, whatever you
listen.
like.
I don't like talking about nobody's mama, but your mama tripping.
I have a question. Who was it that, was somebody put ketchup on pasta, or was that sugar? Oh, it was
Sugar.
Victor Cruz.
Victor Cruz put sugar on
pasta. Let's stick with ketchup on steak, guys. Let's not get too off
It's
base.
disgusting on everything, especially chicken noodle soup. That's my father you're talking about, Colleen.
My dad,
Here
Bob.
for him. It's a great American Bob Brandt.
Her friend who dumps mustard on his spaghetti. Get out of here with that.
I just want to appreciate.
What does that even mean?
Yeah.
I feel bad for Mahomes that he, a quarterback who is lighting up the league, feels some kind of way sitting in a restaurant because
be
some
scared.
snarky waiter or chef thinks you're like downplaying the integrity of his Angus beef. That's ridiculous.
Think about
to me.
Kansas City,
He should be
though.
able to order whatever he wants.
I
agree.
He ketchup /A1 whatever you want in a restaurant chain is annoying.
It's
I agree.
enough. And there is, I
I'm
think
so
there's,
judgmental, but other people are eating.
I think there's a hashtag and there's a movement about this. I know you're right. But I will say this. Kansas City's serious about their steak. They're serious about their ribs, serious about their
That's
meat.
fair.
He doesn't want to disrespect and become enemy number one.
Right. Here's what I think. And I mean, they should absolutely do a touchdown-themed ketchup celebration the next time they're in the end zone.
With the ball.
Anthony Sherman should be involved because he's sausage. You put ketchup on sausage. Their uniforms are the colors of ketchup and mustard. I mean, it couldn't be more perfect. I also think it's so fascinating about how young Mahomes is in this league. We have Mahomes who is getting ketchup for his birthday, which is really weird. And then we have Brady who won't eat a tomato. Like, there's both ends of the spectrum. This is a wild time to be alive.
And I like the dramatic read of Strange. Like, I know you want it. You want it. And he's in there like Tyrone Biggums. It's just ketchup, baby. I need ketchup, Mom.
Patrick Mahomes get ketchup or score it? I mean, like, he sounds like he's really into ketchup, right?
Back to some of these quirks, though. Do you guys have any of these weird, like, ketchup on French toasty kind of things? I really don't.
You got nothing?
Not really. I'll put any sort of cookies, pretzel situation into a Nutella jar.
Oh, the Nutella's class. If I get
That's
really
not weird.
stressed, I'll take the jar of peanut butter, the jar of jelly, put some peanut butter, put some jelly, and eat it right out of the jar.
With no bread.
Fiend. No bread.
What?
Low cal. Come on. Yeah, I did.
No carbs.
Yeah, I did last night. All the time. And my wife loves it.
Hey, I think we know this about each other, Kay.
Peanut butter chunks in the jelly and
Yeah,
all
I'm
over.
a hot sauce junkie. I'll put hot sauce on. I'll put hot sauce on
Salad.
buck. I'll put hot sauce on salad. I'll put hot sauce on Chinese food. I'll put hot sauce on anything.
I seen you sop up some hot sauce with an English muffin.
Hold on,
But
come on.
I said,
oh, he
Let's go to
wild.
breakfast.
Humble brag. You've been to nice restaurants.
Yeah, I've been to a few.
Do you ask for hot sauce, and do you ever get snark about like a meal with anything you
question.
ask?
Yeah, Peter, you won't go somewhere if it's not Michelin rated. So we just, you know what I'm saying? You really won't. So would you ask for
You know what
hot
I mean?
sauce?
At the Texas Roadhouse, maybe.
See, I think Peter goes to the bathroom in that restaurant and does the hot sauce in the stall. I've seen him. I've seen him. He's got a mirror. It's terrible, Peter.
He's like,
Someone's knocking on the door. What's going on in there?
do freebase and hot sauce.
Hot sauce.
Like Cookie
Sir,
Monster and Family Guy.
Talk football. Let's talk Eagles, shall we? Carson Wentz and his squad will have to navigate a brutal. It was a hard right turn for me. I don't know how to get
It's
there.
a tough topic.
Yeah, tough schedule down the stretch for those Eagles, the defending champs. They want to get back to the playoffs. It could happen in the NFC East, but next up is a brutal matchup. It's the Saints. It's in the Superdome. And let's get an update now on the defending Super Bowl champs with Mike Garafolo. Mike?
Thank you, Kay. We're getting close to desperation time here in Philly. The Eagles are 4-5 after losing to Dallas at home the other night. They're heading to New Orleans. That's not where you want to go when you're approaching must-win territory. They've also got a game in Los Angeles against the Rams coming up, so they've got to start playing better, finding some wins here or there. And that's why Doug Peterson made a point of meeting with his leadership committee on Wednesday morning. About a dozen players on that committee, most of them veterans that have been around here for a while. Fletcher Cox, Zach Ertz among them. And in talking to them in the locker room on Wednesday, it was clear one of the big messages that Peterson gave to that committee was make sure you walk around here acting confident, not acting desperate, not feeling sorry for yourself, because a lot of these younger guys, the first or second year guys, might see that and think, okay, maybe it's okay for me to start moping around as well. He wants to make sure that this locker room is still feeling good. Peterson confident that they are heading into a huge game against the high-flying Saints. Okay?
No doubt about it. Week 11, Eagles at Saints. It is a big one. Taking a look here at the NFC playoff picture. You got the Rams and the Saints up top there. How's it shaken out to you so far, Shriggs?
There's only one defending Super Bowl champion in the entire playoff picture, and that's at the bottom of the end of the hunt. Okay. I don't know. It doesn't seem too good.
Here's what happened yesterday. I brought up the question at the table. Out of all those guys on the right, pick the team that's in the hunt that you think will end up in the playoffs. And I'm sorry to bring this up again today, but none of you picked the Eagles. None of you picked the Eagles. So we have to talk about this right now. Why?
It doesn't feel the same, and it doesn't feel like the games they were winning last year with such fun and surprise. It's just not happening. And for me to answer it as Peter Schrager not there every day and saying, here's why, I wouldn't do it justice, but I would turn to Jason Kelce, the man who wore the Mummers costume, the guy who was that guy. And he had this quote yesterday. Last year, it just seemed like everybody was clicking. We had guys like Brent Selleck, who had been there for a long time, was very accountable. Torrey Smith, who had been in the league for a long time, very accountable. Matt Collins was a guy that gave great effort. LeGarrette Blount, all these running backs that they had their limited amount of stuff that they had to do, but they knew what to do, and they knew what to do those things. And the key word, what we're missing, accountability. Something tells me when the longtime center is saying accountability is that you're watching things on film, you're watching things play out on the field, and it seems like on Monday morning and Tuesday morning, no one's saying, that's on me, or no one's saying, I can be better at that. When the center's telling me that, it tells me that everyone's pointing fingers a little bit, and it's the coaches, it's the players, it's everything. To me, this Eagles team is not clicking on the same cylinders as it was last year. And if accountability is an issue, and your center's talking about Brent Selleck as the reason why, I don't know if you can just make that happen in a flash.
And that's just it. It's the accountability. And I think for people on the outside looking in, it's easy for them to see the final score and say, they lost another one. They're not the same team. But what he is saying, if you read in between the lines, is that last year it was somewhat seamless. And at times they were flawless. They were the group wearing the mask but barking louder than ever. Now they're the big dogs and their bark isn't that loud. And their bite isn't that strong, and the flow isn't the same. And when you hear him talk about guys that were there that aren't, that means the guys that are on the roster right now, they're making mistakes that are costing them the game. And the teams that are in front of them, we'll find out about the Hawks and the Packers tonight, of course. The Falcons have had some moments this season. And then when you go to wild card and teams that are leading their division, Eagles aren't in the conversation. It was a different squad last year. They were, even though they wore the underdog mask, they were running dogs off the porch. They were the big dog. This year, it's completely different. It seems like every other team saw the big dog on the porch, and they're not scared anymore.
And I had them out of, we did our playoff pictures, right, for the NFC and the AFC. I was one of the table that didn't have the Eagles. I got so much grief for it. To me, it was because of what you're saying, the rest of the teams also looking better in the NFC being so tough. But also, it's not the same team. It's not, they're missing people, all of that, Reich, DiFilippo. I'm a broken record about those two and their impact, but it's the dog masks. It is that mentality that is missing to me. This team, not, it's 9 times they scored 30 or more points last year. They have done that once this season. They have this us against the world mentality. I believe in the sanctity of Super Bowl teams, and this is the element that I think is missing most of all, and I've been saying it all season. I hope they can regain it somehow, because now they are the underdog yet again.
You're right. And I have no more love to give. I've tried everything with these guys. I bought Nick Foles' book. I've done tweets. I've done speeches. And then they go out and they're getting wrapped up by a millennial named Leighton on the Cowboys and scoring 3 points in the first. Dogs. You ever seen a dog is so old and deaf it starts walking into sliding glass doors and one of those Elizabethan collars, and its owner's following it around with that blue bag of crap? That's
Sarah McLachlan's playing the music.
That's exactly it. So I'm doing everything I can possibly do. And it's sad, but I can't go out and make tackles for them. These are my guys. I'm trying to stand by them. You score 3 points in the first half at home against the Cowboys. I'm done. What else can I do?
Sad old dogs?
It's not a happy dog.
Marley and me?
Peter? It's not a great ending, is it?
Old Yeller?
Hey, you guys said it.
Coming up after.